Oh Hello. Welcome in. Welcome to the stream. Let's turn on the camera here. How's it going, everybody? So I'm up here in Whistler. Shout out to any Whistler fans out there. And not a lot has changed, honestly. The market, if you are trading on leverage, you're having a very bad time. It is Chop City out there. You are getting wicked out every which way. But if you're not trading on leverage and you're just sitting in spot, we're doing a whole lot of nothing. So last week we had a little bit of a bullish bias. Here we're a little bit neutral, a little bit more neutral. Yeah, let's just dive into it. I want to take a look at Bitcoin. I want to take a look at Ethereum and the S&P, but then I also want to take a look at one space that's actually doing quite well. And if you've been dabbling in the ordinal space at all, you probably already know. I want to take a look at some BRC20 tokens, specifically Track. So Track is kind of the new kid on the block. It's kind of a GRT chain link combination. So stay tuned for that. We'll dive in. But first, let's take a look at the king of all crypto, and that is Bitcoin. All right, so we're going to start off with Bitcoin here on the weekly. We're about 20 minutes out from the weekly close here on Bitcoin, and it's looking a little lackluster. We do have a bearish divergence here occurring on the weekly. Let me just, we have equal highs on price, and we have a lower high on the RSI. So momentum is slowing down. Momentum is slowing down at the area of a very critical resistance. Let's just identify that resistance. We've talked about it many, many times. It's this 30K resistance. And we're unable to really show a lot of follow through at this 30K resistance. Going down to a smaller time frame, taking a look at the 3-hour, sorry, not 3-hour, the 3-day. Just, it really paints a picture of how tight this local range has been. You look at this area right here, and these candle bodies are tiny, 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 tiny candle bodies. But look at the wicks. There's been a lot of intraday volatility. There's been a lot of really quick moves that are either liquidation cascades, both long and short liquidation cascades. But price is stabilizing in this very, very thin range. Now, here on the 3-day chart, we did break the 3 moving average. We just are closed. Yeah, we closed yesterday below the 7 moving average. Sorry, not the 3. And that's not a good sign. When you're in healthy momentum, you are able to maintain price on top of this blue line. You can see back here, you stay on top of the blue, stay on top of the blue. When you breach it, things, you introduce a lot of volatility and a dump can happen. Here above the blue line, as soon as you breach it, a consolidation. So we have breached the 7-day or the 7 on the 3-day. So we could be looking at a little bit of sideways price action. Now, an interesting target, would be kind of the area of the breakout in the more extreme case. I am looking at this whole market move as an uptrend. We're still in an uptrending environment. I think the bottom is in for Bitcoin. I really do. We can draw some comparisons to 2015 charts. Why don't we do that? Why don't we just take a look at 2015 and we'll come back over here. Let's just slide this back over to 2015. And what we saw back there is we saw kind of a bear market bottoming pattern where we stayed in this lower range. Then we had a very big move out of it, and then a super long, drawn-out secondary accumulation, okay? So this is potentially what we're looking at today. We're looking at this secondary, long, sideways accumulation range. Once we broke that, though, once we broke out of that back in 2016, it was up only. And this was a fantastic, just incredibly powerful rally all the way up to 2017. It was one of the more powerful rallies that we had, obviously prior to price discovery in the early days when people couldn't even custody this stuff on an exchange. This was a very powerful rally. So we could be setting up to something similar to the 2015 style run where we had that bottom accumulation and then we had another accumulation at the next level up. So I think we're at that next level up today. So this is kind of our bottom accumulation. It's not the same. You know, history does not have to match perfectly. What is it? History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. So we have this lower range, and now we're up in this upper range. So this upper range can trade sideways for a long time. I am not one of the people who is calling for 10K Bitcoin anymore. No 10K Bitcoin, no 12K Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to revisit the lows at all. I think this was the low of Bitcoin. That was the low. We're not going to see a lower price. I don't care that the stock markets are, not looking fundamentally strong. They are rallying. I don't care that a lot of people are worried about all of the fundamental factors that are out there. I don't care about price increases or interest rate increases. I don't care about all that. I am looking at this from a cycle perspective and from a time-based perspective, and where I think we are in the price cycle based off of time, based off of the fundamentals of innovation that we're seeing in Bitcoin. The bottom's in. I'm happy to I'm happy to post my flag that the bottom is in Bitcoin. So, but where does that leave us here in the short term? So we're here on the daily. Let's go down to the 4-hour. And let's get out a log and let's go up to this. So this consolidation, it's choppy. It has distributional characteristics. We had a nice breakout here on the 23rd, on the 6th, sorry. On the 6th, we had a nice breakout that created a new high in the consolidation at 31.5. Didn't get above that 32 that I've been talking about. I really think 32 is where things will heat up. But now we've lost that level and we're currently kind of below where we want to be. Taking a look at the kind of the buyer's climax back here, we definitely want to be above this line. We want to be staying above. See, like we hit it as resistance. We got on top of it, held it as support, got a little bit of a sign of weakness, got back on top of it, rallied off of it. Now we're back below it. A lot of choppy consolidation, and we're not where we want to be. There's weakness showing up in the market right now. If we take a look at the RSI, getting a rejection from the 50 line, getting a rejection from the 50 could bring us back down to the 30. Now, based off of alphanumerics and the black box strategy, if we do get a dip down into the green wave and we're not too far from an oversold condition, we could see a green diamond in the green wave. These types of signals can be quite powerful. We've seen them in the past where you get a green diamond in a green wave. This one was a poor example. But right here, green diamond, price into the green wave, got a rally off. Let's go back to a green wave. This is all red wave, red wave. Oh, what did I do? Did I move price into the RSI? Didn't know I could do that. Yeah, even when you're trading sideways, when you get these green diamonds in the green wave, you get a little bit of a move. This move was about a 16% move. We got it back here. 10% move. But you want those oversold conditions. And that's kind of what we're setting up for. Now, we haven't broken out of the consolidation yet. We haven't broken down. So there's a possibility that while we remain range bound, we could just reclaim this level. This is a really important level here. We can reclaim the 30. If we can reclaim the 30, then we can give another attempt at breaking out. So we're kind of trapped in this area right here. Yeah, this is kind of the zone. So, you know, we could come down to the 29.9 and we could bounce, and that bounce could get us to reclaim the 30. If we can reclaim the 30, then we could give another attempt to break out of here. So long story short, it's not doing anything. It's consolidating. It's boring. The market's boring. And we could actually be setting up for a very long consolidation where the market is very boring. So buckle up. Now, this does kind of lend itself well to altcoin performance. When Bitcoin trades sideways for a long extended period of time, it brings the market a little bit of ease. We can convince the market that we're not going to dump. That's all we really need to do for altcoins. If you can convince the market you're not going to dump, then you can convince the market that there's a possibility that altcoins can pump. So we can go ahead and take a look at the Bitcoin dominance. And Bitcoin dominance here is, let's go to the daily chart. It's got some room for a retest. So if we come down to the top of this box, we could get a nice little altcoin rally. You know, when you're printing red candles on the Bitcoin dominance, you can get a nice rally. You can get nice rally inside of altcoins. It is kind of random right now. It's what we refer to as popcorn season, random things just popping off here and there. So, you know, pick which ones have volume, and don't spread yourself too thin. And when you see something leaving, if you see something pumping, don't chase it. This is not the environment to be chasing pumps at all. In a full-blown bull market, you can chase pumps. Do not chase pumps in this this type of environment. Now let's go switch gears a little bit and take a look at the ETH BTC. ETH BTC here on the 3-day, still trending down towards my target of 0.05, about 5 million sats per ETH. Currently trading at 6 million sats per ETH. So I would like to see us come down and retest this general area back here for 5 million sats per ETH. But ultimately, this whole consolidation, apologies to the ETH fans out there, but this is not a good consolidation. This is really not. It's ugly. It's shitty. It's disgusting. It's a distribution. It's not what you want to see for a healthy accumulation of an asset. And when I look at this, I can also back it up with the fundamentals. Here's the opinion piece. Here's the opinion part of the show for Ethereum. If you're not paying attention to what is going on with ordinals, you need to fucking go look into ordinal inscriptions, because DeFi is coming to Bitcoin. Is it here today? No. Did Chainlink always exist? No. Did the graph always exist? No. Did Uniswap always exist? No. But what happened when it did exist? You had a full-blown bull market. It actually sparked the entire bull market of the previous cycle. And what we're seeing is the infrastructure being built on the Bitcoin network, and it's following the same roadmaps and it's following the same, infrastructure plays of the previous cycle. It's like you almost have a crystal ball this time, because if you were paying attention to the innovations that were happening on the Ethereum network, guess what? It's happening again on Bitcoin. And this leads me to believe that the value of Ethereum compared to Bitcoin is going to trend down. So yes, my current target's about 5 million sats per ETH, but honestly, we could be heading to much lower levels as well. That doesn't mean that the price of Ethereum won't go up. This is the Bitcoin pair. So this is the comparative strength of Bitcoin, of Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. Just wanted to point out that your audio seems to be coming off only in one ear. Interesting. Let's see if we can fix that real quick. I will have to look at that another time, but thank you, Tukos. I'll take a look at, it must be on mono and it must be panned. I'll take a look into that. Thank you. So yeah, this cycle could absolutely be different. We could see the fundamentals of Bitcoin becoming very, very strong, especially if we have DeFi, NFTs, metaverse, fuck, you name it. Every stupid hype that you had in the previous cycle, we're going to re-see it here this cycle, but it's going to be on the Bitcoin network. That's going to be huge. That's going to be huge for the price of Bitcoin. That's going to be huge for a lot of these other infrastructure plays. So, I was going to do traditional finance. Let's put a pin in that and let's go take a look at one of these infrastructure plays, and that's TRAC, TARC. You can buy this on Unisat. You can buy this on Magic Eden. You can buy it on some centralized exchanges, although I have my doubts as to the legitimacy of those order books. So do your own research. If you want to know that you have the real thing, then get it on chain. The place that you get it on chain is on Unisat. But this has been on an absolute tear, absolutely fucking ridiculous tear. So we have this cup and handle formation, broke above the resistance at 12 cents and currently up about 200%. So I don't know how many altcoins are up 200% in the span of 3 days. But yeah, it's been on an absolute tear, and it's because the community is really excited about what's going on with TRAC, because TRAC is the Bitcoin Ordinals Indexer token, So the equivalent of that is kind of a combination of Chainlink, which is indexing data and bringing real world data over to the Ethereum network and other EVM compatible chains. But it's also the Graph, which is indexing smart contract information. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. This is nerdy, complicated stuff. That's the part of the market cycle that we're in right now. We are in the nerdy, complicated part of the market cycle. We are in the infrastructure innovation stage of the market cycle. So if this doesn't really make sense to you, that's okay. I'm going to break it down for you real quick right now. What is the most important thing to a DeFi ecosystem? Stablecoins. Okay. Stablecoins are the most important thing to a DeFi ecosystem. How do you create protocols that peg the value of a stablecoin to $1? You need external price data. What is the value of $1? What's the value of $1, against the S&P? What's the value of $1 against the yen? What's the value of the dollar against the euro? We need that information so that we can bring it over to the blockchain and we can peg stablecoins based off of that information. This is what TRAC is doing. It is going to track the price of coins and the data for anything. It's going to track all of this stuff. Supplementary to price data, which is the most important thing that Chainlink does for Ethereum, it's also going to index not smart contracts, because Bitcoin doesn't have smart contracts, but it's going to index smart protocol contracts, and it's also going to index recursive inscriptions and a lot of the inscribed data on the Bitcoin blockchain that's happening so far. So that is going to allow for smart contracts. It's a very important coin right now. I don't recommend that you buy it right now because it's up 200% in 3 days, but I'm just pointing out like where we are in the market cycle is we're in this infrastructure stage of the market cycle, and it's very exciting. And if you've been fading ordinals, if you've been not paying attention to ordinal inscriptions, if you've been not paying attention to the Taproot upgrade of Bitcoin, stop what you're fucking doing, because you are literally wasting time. You're literally wasting time. If you are looking for the next big thing on Ethereum, I hate to break it to you, in my personal opinion, you're wasting your fucking time. Pardon my French. But this is a big deal. People trust Bitcoin. The most liquidity is on Bitcoin. The most infrastructure is on Bitcoin, and it's only going to go up from there. So this is a very important project, theoretically. Excuse me, I got way too much sun today. I'm quite thirsty, trying to catch up on the electrolytes. But yeah, so let's what would be a good entry? Okay, that's really what you want to know. How would you buy? What would be a good buy on track? So the wave is green on Alpha Numerics. This is the 200, by the way. So if you have a 200 moving average, you basically want price to go below it. That's it. That's the secret. We can actually remove all of this stuff. Let me take this off. Let me remove this. Let me hide the drawings. And let me add the indicator. This is a free indicator, moving average. Moving average simple. Go into the settings, change the length from 9 to 200. Let's make it a little bit more of an obnoxious color. And let's make it bigger, okay? Right now, we need price to go below this on the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame. So it's very overextended right now. You're very far from this line. We're currently we're nearly 300% away from this line. It's not a good time to be buying track because you're looking at a reversion, a mean reversion of 73%. You can lose 3/4 of your value if you buy it at this level. Now, the thing that kind of catches people off guard, or the thing that kind of screws people up, is track will keep going. Okay, we're on a rally. So the price every day, you'll look at track and you'll be like, fuck, it's at a higher price. Fuck, it's at a higher price. I need to get it every day. I wake up and it's at a higher price. So you FOMO in. I can tell you from experience, it will, without a shadow of a doubt, it will come back to the 200 every single time, okay? It will. Now, what the price of the 200 is at the time that it comes back, that's another story, right? Like, this is trending up. So if this is trending up, yeah, the 200 can keep climbing. This keeps mooning. Eventually it comes back, but it could be at a higher price than we're at today. It could be at a higher price it could be at a lower price than what we're at today. So do bear that in mind when you're making these decisions, but it's without a doubt. Like, let's look back here. Look here, let's go to the 4-hour. How many times does price go back into the wave? Lagging a little bit. Price rallies, goes back into the wave. Price rallies, goes back into the wave. It always goes back. Always, every time, without a doubt. It's mathematically impossible for it to not go back. So have a little bit of patience. I know that's not everybody's strong suit, especially if you're newer to these markets. Patience is a skill set. But yeah, so track looking really good. Another one that just is an OG is ORD. ORD is still kind of in its accumulation phase. So I'd be looking at a range like this. This is the first BRC20 token ever created. Who really knows what it's going to end up doing? But we're range bound right here in the upper end of the range. We can absolutely come down to the lower end of the range. We don't have a real trend defined here in ORD. Another one that's been popping off is Pepe, not the scam Pepe that everybody, all the social media influencers were shilling to you a few months ago. That's the Ethereum Pepe. This is the Bitcoin Pepe. Holy fuck, this space is ridiculous. It's so silly sometimes. It's a lot. It's confusing. But there's another Pepe. And it's a BRC20 token. It lives on the Bitcoin blockchain, and it didn't moon. It didn't suck everybody in like the other Pepe that the social media influencers scammed everybody into. But this one's also ranging. So let's slap a range around that. And this is what we're watching out for on Pepe. So trading sideways for now, but I want to bring your attention to these tokens. Every cycle has its opportunities, and its opportunities happen at different phases of the bull market. And phase 1 of the bull market has the most opportunity in it, period. So if you're watching this now, if you're paying attention now, then you're in the right phase of the bull market, okay? pay attention, place a few strategic bets. Don't over trade. Don't use leverage. Don't get too fancy with things right now, because this is a very vulnerable time for you if you make mistakes, because the opportunity cost for success is huge at this point in the market. Track at 24 cents on Coinbase. Is that the right one? That is the right one. But I wouldn't buy it. I don't think that the exchanges are being legitimate with the BRC20 tokens, because there's really no solid infrastructure to trade them yet. You can possess the coins on chain, but until we have an indexer, until Track is actually doing what it's supposed to do, which the token isn't doing. Like the token, this is just, it's like an ICO, you know. People were buying the Ethereum ICO before Ethereum even had the concept of a smart contract. It didn't do anything. These things don't do anything yet, okay? So you're quite literally buying a seed stage investment. This is real-time venture capital. None of this shit does anything. It does nothing. So do take that into consideration. And the Track, sending these tokens is very difficult. So I don't think Coinbase is doing it frequently enough. So yes, they have an order book that says you're buying Track, but I don't know if you can actually withdraw that and put it into a BRC20 wallet. So I would just learn now how to get these tokens appropriately. Let me pull up Unisat. You want this. This is what you want. So the current price for Track, the true price for Track is 39 cents. Again, don't recommend that you buy at these inflated prices. It might go higher, but you know, from my technical analysis point of view, it's not a good risk to reward trade to be buying up here. But yeah, you go to unisat.io, get yourself a Web3 or get yourself a Taproot wallet, install the wallet, use Unisat wallet, and plug some Bitcoin into it, and then start dabbling. Now, don't buy a bunch. There's a lot of shit out there. Don't buy stuff that doesn't have volume. There's no liquidity. Please don't buy stuff that doesn't have volume. It has to have market support. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of these things. And most of them, 99.9% of them, will absolutely trade to zero, or you will never even be able to sell them because there's no liquidity to get out. All right, so that's BRC20. I was going to save BRC20 for the end, but it was just such a nice segue, so I wanted to get into there. Now let's talk about dollar cost averaging. You're still in the dollar cost averaging zone for Bitcoin. Short-term volatility, we'll see what happens. It was showing $2 at one point. Yeah, it's because you can't arbitrage it. You can't arbitrage between Unisat and Coinbase. So Coinbase is like, yeah, we got Track. Bullshit. You don't have fucking Track. You have an order book that pretends you have Track. I wouldn't touch it. But yeah, we're in the DCA area. As long as you're in the green, if you're buying in the green, you're going to be a very happy camper when you're selling in the red. Let's go back over to traditional finance. Let's take a look at the DXY, see what the DXY is doing. What is the dollar up to? Dollar is falling, getting a rejection from this falling wedge, this descending triangle formation. How do you find BRC20 Pepe? Go to Unisat, unisat.io, and then go to Marketplace, BRC20, unisat.io, Marketplace, and then type up here, Pepe. Boom. Don't buy it. It's up fucking 69%. Oh, sorry, 62% today. I mean, you could. I mean, some people just ape into shit, but I am a technical trader and I don't see good risk to reward on something like that. But that's how you buy it. Unisat. Can you place a stop? No. No, you cannot. There's no infrastructure for this shit. All right. Getting a rejection. So, you know, as this is trending down, that's really good for equities. We're seeing a continued rally in the S&P. We just keep taking out the highs, retesting the previous high as new support and rallying up. We're holding the 7 here on the 3-day. Nice, beautiful trend on the S&P. NASDAQ, nice, beautiful trend on the NASDAQ. We haven't broken the 7. So crypto's a lot more vulnerable. Crypto's a lot more weak. It's a lot more volatile. It's showing bullish signals, then it's showing bearish signals, then it's flipping back to bullish signals, then it's flipping back to bearish signals. The equities are just steadily climbing at a nice tick. So it's good to see. Part of that is due to the falling price of the dollar. If this continues to trend to the bottom of this triangle, we will be testing this support again. If we break this support, then it's full on bull market. It'll be full on bull market if we break this support and continue this downwards momentum in the dollar. Take a look at gold. Gold's working on its triple top, getting rejection from the triple top, heading back down probably to the 200 support here at around 1800. A lot of confluence at that $1,800 level for gold. And then Cardano, who cares? BNB, scam, getting ready to come down to the test of 180. I don't think Binance is able to prop this market up anymore because of the amount of oversight that they have coming from the SEC and other governing bodies. It'll be interesting to see if they are able to defend the 180 level. If they're not, then I'm looking at $48 and probably the end of Binance. Bitcoin Cash cooling off after a nice little rally. Get a retest probably back to 150, currently at 260. Doge, very, very weak. Very, very weak. Market does not care about Doge. Still in the accumulation range and at the lower part of the range. Yeah, it is what it is. Hex, oh man. Hex is brutal, as it should be, but man, hard to be a hexagon. Hard to be a hexagon for sure. I am not. I'm just saying it's got to be hard to be a hexagon in this type of environment. But yeah, I mean, liquidity is drying up there. If ever there was a place to buy, not financial advice, but you don't get much tighter of a range than that. I mean, that's a floor. That's a floor. You can't argue that that's not a floor. It's just nothing. Nothing is moving. Nobody is selling. Nobody is buying. It has flatlined. Litecoin coming down for a nice little correction. We did get a little pop through this resistance. The resistance did not hold as support, coming down to the lower range. Probably settled back at around $85. Seems to like the support at $85. The halving is soon, I guess. It'll probably be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. Nobody really cares about the halving on Litecoin. It's just a bullshit fork of Bitcoin. Solana, yucky, really, really low volume. And XRP. XRP is a weird one. XRP is one you're going to have to look out for. Super choppy, not a project that I endorse at all. The whole XRP community is really banking on the fact that the banks are adopting it. Guys, fuck the banks. Like, what we're creating gets rid of banks, but that's the narrative. That's the narrative. It's like, we need CBDCs, we need these, we need the digital dollar, the digital this. It's sure, whatever. If banks start using Ripple's ledger for CBDCs, then yeah, Ripple will probably go up in value. But I mean, XRP will probably go up in value. But that's not a world I care to endorse. It's not a world I care to endorse, especially when we have actual applications using the Bitcoin Lightning Network to do cross-border remittances. I haven't seen a single app for that purpose come out of the XRP community, even though that is their number one claim of utility. It's all you guys talk about is cross-border remittances, and you don't have an app that does it. Anyways. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Are there any other tickers we should take a look at? Or just some ice ASMR? How do I find the BRC20 Pepe? Only find the ERC21. Oh, on TradingView. I think it is Pepe 1. Pepe 1 USDT on BitGet. Speaking of BitGet, if you guys are interested in a Bitcoin trading bot for free to manage your entries, manage your exits in this market, the best way to handle the trade is to remove human emotion. The best way to remove human emotion is to give the task to a robot. So we have created Blackbox. Blackbox is our newest offering. So if you have 2 feet and a heartbeat, head on over to blackbox.pro, type in your email and give it a password, and boom, you have access to everything you need to get started on a Bitcoin trading bot. Use one of our partner exchanges. Currently, just BitGet. We are working on a partnership with OKX. So if you are more interested in trading on OKX, give it a few weeks, and I think we'll have OKX up and running. But if you want access to this, get hooked up on BitGet and get your free Bitcoin trading bot. Now, this is not live just yet. We are launching the beta. This is a strategy we've traded for years. This is a bot that we've been testing for months, and it will be released on July 17th. So mark your calendars. July 17th, Blackbox will be going live and will be actively trading on your behalf. Take out the emotions of trading and trade with Blackbox. All right. Shiba, we got a request for Shiba. Doge, but shittier. Same as Doge. Same as Solana, actually. These charts look very, very similar. There's Shiba. There's Solana. Very similar. It's not going anywhere. Nobody gives a shit. New cycle, new coins. That's my model. New cycle, new coins. And with that, I will leave you with I will leave you with those words of wisdom. New cycles, new coins. That is all the time I got for today. If you guys enjoyed this content, please leave it a like and don't forget to subscribe. If you have anybody that you would like to share this content with, I know all your friends and family are sick and tired of you talking about crypto, but just in case the off chance is that they are willing to learn some of this stuff, I would appreciate it if you shared this channel with them. And with that, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.